Okay, welcome back. We are going to be finishing up our Tango album today. So this is going to be a video on pages 7 and 8. We'll start with page 7. I got my piece 7 up here. I'm going to set that in the corner here. And we just have 3 cuts for this. Really easy. The first two, A and B, are the same. So cut 2 at 6 3/4 by 6 1/4. And we have a pocket going underneath one of them, and that is flap C, which is 7 1/4 by 3 3/4. So let's bring out our scoreboard and we'll score flaps A and B with the 6 3/4 side facing the top. Yes. Score that at 1/2 inch. And our pocket is going to go underneath one of those flaps. And so we'll score with, it's going to be a horizontal pocket. So we want our 7 1/4 side facing up. And we'll go all the way around. I did this one already, but I'll just show you. Okay. And let's put our score tape. Using 3/8 inch. There we go. That's flap A. Do the same on flap B. Press these down and we'll fold them over. Okay. So for our pocket, put your score tape all 3 sides. And again, like we've made all the other pockets, we cut up to the center and turn out a little bit, both sides. And we will get ready to lay this down on page 7. So before I take the backing off, I'm just going to lay this down and show you what I was thinking. So the top flap, either one, A or B, I'm not going to put it smack in the center. I want a little more showing on this side. So I'm going to put it right off center a little bit and have like around 1/2 inch on this left hand side. And this one is going to go underneath. So this flap is going to be right around here. Actually, what we're going to do this way. We'll put this one down first. This one will go right under this score line. And that way, when you fold this down, they're even. Okay, so just good idea to test everything before you glue it down. So I'm going to take the backing off of here. And a lot like the way we made our pocket pages, I'm going to just put this flap on top, get it to around where there's 1/2 inch. Got each paper butted right up against each other, and I'm going to just lay this flap down, move this down so I don't see any space here, I don't see the table, and I'm going to lay that down. Okay. Now the next one, I'm going to take off. I know it's going to fit. Just tested it out. So I'm going to start with my most important thing that I have to get down. I need this top edge of this flap to come just up to this crease. I don't want to go smack up to it. I certainly don't want to go past it, but I want a little bit showing, like a 1/16 of an inch showing. So this has room to fold over. So I'm going to line this up with that side, right hand side, and then I will just tuck this piece under and lay it down. Whoops, it moved on me a little bit. No worries. Thought that didn't look quite even. I didn't really press it down, so it's easy to lift up. Okay, so let me just look again. Left and right. Hold it down. There. And then press it down. And I know this goes right over top. It looks just the way I wanted it. So I'm going to press this down. Okay. Now our pocket is going to go on top of this top flap. Before I peel that off, I just want to lay it down and make sure nothing's hanging over the edge here, and it isn't. So I'm going to peel off the bottom first. Now, again, I need this pocket to go just above this score line. Yes, and then I will press it down. And it's nice and deep, this pocket, so since it's on a flap, I don't want whatever I put in here to go flying around. So this will hold it. Whatever I put in there, it'll hold that in place. So now all we have to do is our magnets. Now let me see how thick this is. I might, let's see if we can do one small magnet. I don't think we need to go to the big magnet. I'm pretty sure that that will hold. I might do one on each side. How about that? I don't really have to put a magnet here because the top will hold it down. Okay, so let's do one on each side, just because there's a pocket there. It's a little thick, so I want to make sure it stays down. Okay, so at the top, I'm going to put my positives. Tape that. And we'll put our negatives up there. Hold this down, flip that over, press, press, and there we go. And that's it for page 7. So I will show you what I did to decorate this, and then we will flip our page over and do page 8. So page 7, our 2 flaps here. I have the square cutouts, that's on one of the pages. I use the Tango one. Well, they're all Tango, but it says Tango right there. a G clef for this one. This paper, it's either in the A4 or the Patterns and Solids. I am sorry about that, but I don't have that paper to show you. It's in one of those. I used the blue paper here, and I made 2 booklets to put in this small pocket. So for this has the blue paper down here, and then across I've got the piano with the rose on it. So let's turn this over and we will do page 8. It's our last page. So I'm going to turn it like I'm turning my book. I got my page 8 up here, and we just have a few flaps. So let's start with your cut list for this page 8A. The A flap is going to be 9 1/4 by 8 5/8, and yes, I did it again to you with the 5/8, but that is just 2 lines after the 8 1/2. B is 8 3/4 by 7 3/4, and C is 6 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, let's set aside page 8 and bring out the scoreboard again. Actually, there's a pocket on this page too, so I forgot to write that down. I will get to that in just a second. Let me measure that first, and we'll cut a pocket page together. It's going to be similar to our other ones. So it's going to be 8 3/4 by 3 1/2. So let's cut that together. I have a piece of scrap I think I can use. Yes. So 8 3/4 by 3 1/2. We'll score all these together then. So flap A, let me write this down so you can see it. We'll call this D. And it's 8 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay. So for the A, we're going to make a gusset again. So that's that little bit thicker, so it'll go over our pocket. So you'll need to have 2 score lines. Score at 7 7/8 and 8 1/4. So the 8 1/4, let's see, we're going to have, I'm gonna make sure I have the right side facing up. Just 1 second. Okay. 9 1/4. So we want our 8 5/8 side facing up. And there it is. 8 5/8 is facing up. And I'm going to score this at 7 1/8. So 7 1/8 is you go up to your 7-inch mark and you go 2 lines past it. No, that's not right. 7 7/8 is you go up to the 8 and you go 2 lines before the 8. Okay. And then you come down to 8 1/8, which is you go up to your 8 Go past it 2 lines. There we go. And that gives us our 1/2 inch here and a 1/4 inch between the lines. Okay. B is going to be on the 8 3/4 side this way, and I'm going to score 1/2 inch. C is our small flap. We are going to score on the 6 3/4 side 1/2 inch. D is a pocket, and this is a horizontal pocket, so I want my 8 3/4 side facing up. Get this lined up right. Okay, let's get these all taped up. So, our big flap, let me get my tape, and we're just going to tape on the bottom in that 1/2 inch. This is a vertical flap. It's going to go on top of flap B. And D, our pocket. Okay, now I'm gonna press all my score tapes down. Not too many here. Okay, and let's cut this pocket corners. Go right up to here and turn out. Okay, let's fold everything. So this is a quick album, I think. If you do a couple pages a day, even by the end of a week, you'll have a nice album. And so I'm going to fold on both of these score lines so that I get my 1/4 inch. Okay, so let me see. This flap B, I know I'm going to want a corner around it. This is going to be going vertically, so I'm going to corner around the bottom here because it doesn't come all the way to the bottom. And our flap that goes on the left-hand side, I'm just going to give it a small rounding. Again, that's optional. There we go. The C flap, I'm just gonna leave squared off because I'm gonna put one of the cutout cards on top of that. Okay, so let's bring out our pocket page and make double sure you're facing the right direction. So this is page 7, and we turn it over page 8. And first we're going to put down our big flap, flap A. I'm going to turn this towards me, so I'm looking at my P8 up here. And I'm just going to make sure this fits. Yes. Okay. So I have a little bit of space on the top and bottom right here, maybe 1/4 inch at the most. I'm going to push that over, and I'm going to use my thumb here to line up the flat side of this gusset with the edge of this page. And just lightly press that down, run it over to this other side, and make sure when it lays down it doesn't look crooked here, because if it does, you can move it. Looks good, and when you're happy with that, just press it down. Okay, so there we go. Our flap B goes at the top. So yeah, it's gonna go right up here. Okay. You'll be careful doing this because this is not flat against the ground, the table. So it probably is not going to work because we have our other things on the other side of this page. So let's turn it upside down, lay down this non-sticky side first, and get it to where it's almost flush with this side. There's a little bit of room, but you want some room, and you want to come before this score line right here so this page can go over. So I've got it to where I want it left and right, and I'm going to use my thumbs to line it up so it's flush at the top. Looks even here, and then I can press it down. Okay, let's turn ourselves around again. Now this page, this flap, the C flap, you can't put on just yet because we're going to decorate this. I have a piece of red cardstock going around this, and then you'll put that there. So we'll wait on this one. In the meantime, we'll put down our pocket, and we can put that flap in this pocket for now until you get the rest of the page decorated. So let's put down this pocket. Press that down. Okay, so this has to be before this first gusset line, first score line. I'm going to leave a little bit more space than I normally do just because this is a pocket. It's going to have things, and I want this to come over it. So I will get flush with the bottom using my thumbs. Get almost to the edge, just leave a little bit of space so it gives you like a border. There, and we'll press this down. Okay, so let's look and see where we want our magnets. So this flap will go down first. I'm gonna hold this aside, not put that in the pocket just yet, but I'm gonna put a magnet at the top of our B flap. my opposite magnet. Take that backing off and pull it down. Perfect. Okay, so now I can put this flap in my pocket, and after I decorate the top of my B flap, then I can put it on top of there. So I just want to do the A flap, and for this, let's see, I think, again, you can do in the middle or on the top and bottom. Let me just see how it lays real quick. Yeah, it looks like it's cooperating, so I can put one in the middle. Fold this over. Nice, lays down nice. So I will show you the decoration for that. And so I chose this dancing paper, the couple again. I used rose paper, and sometimes when you're down to the end and you're getting low on paper, it may be off a little bit, but like this one was, I was just off by 1 inch. So I just took a piece that was similar to what's on this pocket and put that over here. So you can do that too. It's a shame to waste a whole, this is a pretty big piece of paper, but I was just off by a little bit. So you can always fix that problem by putting a strip of another paper that goes, and it actually looks nice. So I used that. I used this paper, has all kinds of words on it. And here I got roses down here and these little booklets. And a nice big one here. And just red in the background here. And my dancers here. On the other side, where you're gluing this down, you're going to have a little piece of black, and I just covered that up with red so it looks nice. The inside back cover is just a piece of paper with a wall of picture frames. I just like the way that looked. If you wanted to, you could put another pocket here. The back is this paper. I did the side in blue. There's our front again. And it just was a lot of fun, easy album, not stressful for the most part.